here and welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a review, demo, and check-ins of a brand new foundation that released last week from Hourglass. And this is the new Hourglass Vanishing Seamless Finish Foundation Stick. Like, could that be any longer of a name? Basically, it's the Hourglass Vanishing Foundation Stick, and it looks like this. The packaging is just like every other gorgeous, luxurious, beautiful Hourglass product, and I did go ahead and pick up the matching brush that comes along with it just because I figured they are suggested to go together. Let's give it a try. Worst case, if I don't like it, I can return it, but I have to say, I absolutely love the brush with this product, which kind of stinks because this is $46 and this was $43. No, excuse me, this was $46, this was $46, so that is very expensive, but I do really enjoy these together. So let me go ahead and read you some information off of Sephora's website about the product. There are a total of 25 shades. I do think the shade ranges are really, really great. I did go ahead and get color matched at Sephora to match my body since I have a ton of tan, and you'll see in the demo that my face is like significantly paler than my body, so we matched it to my body, and I was in the shade beige, which I believe is kind of a, I think it's a medium with a warm undertone is what it said probably. Let me see if I can find it really quick to tell you, but there is a lot of shades. Like, you definitely can find a shade in here. So I was in the shade beige, which is described as medium with a warm undertone. So like I said, it is a $46. The biggest caveat and the biggest downside to this foundation is the fact that you only get 0.25 ounces. 0.25 ounces. Like, we're used to having like 1 ounces in fluid foundations. If you're familiar with the Makeup Forever stick foundation, that one is 0.4 or around 0.44, something like that. Whereas this one is 0.25, and they're very similar in cost as well. So this is significantly less product for the same price or a little bit of a higher price compared to some of its other competitors. So let me go ahead and read you some information. It says it's a long-wearing foundation stick with the coverage of a concealer, fluidity of a liquid, and weightlessness of powder for invisible full coverage. So I'll kind of stop throughout and tell you what I think about it. So it says it's a long-wearing foundation, and we're going to test that part out because I'm kind of still on the fence about it, so I will be doing check-ins throughout this video later on. I'm putting this on right now, or you'll see in the demo I just filmed. It was around 12:45 p.m. when I filmed this, and we are actually going over to my in-laws for my little sister-in-law's 8th grade graduation party, and so we'll probably be there 3 or 4 hours, and I'll come back, do a check-in, do a little stuff around the house, check in again, so we'll see how it wears, if it really is long-wearing. And then it says the coverage of a concealer, fluidity of a liquid, and weightlessness of a powder. So I really do think this is one of those products that is kind of like all in one. Like, you don't have to go in with concealer once you put this on unless you really want to, like underneath the eyes, to brighten them up, but it does a really good job of covering up like dark circles and all that kind of stuff just by itself. And you'll see that in the demo. Like, I did go on and put on some makeup after this demo that I just filmed that you'll see right now, and I did go ahead and put on some concealer just for a brightness effect, but you can see it covers pretty well. Like, if you're someone that doesn't want to go in with a bunch of products, this is definitely like a good product that kind of has everything all in one, like concealer, foundation. You definitely do not have to set this unless you're super duper oily. That was one of the things about this foundation that I thought was super cool, is that it instantly dries down to a powdery finish. It feels so nice. It's so creamy and like blendable, and so easy to blend out on the face effortlessly. And I definitely think that this type of brush is preferred over a beauty blender. I have tried it with it. I think it takes a little bit more effort to blend it out, and because it's damp, it does shear it out a tad bit, but I really prefer it with this brush. I fell in love with this brush. It made putting on this foundation so easy. Definitely, if you don't want to spend the money on this and you have other items in your collection, I think it'll work. You just need kind of more of a smaller, denser brush. Definitely a kabuki brush of any sort would be great. Morphe has a ton, Sigma has a ton, It Cosmetics has them. Like, basically just soft bristles but short and dense is what you need with this foundation. It just really makes it easy to blend into the skin. It feels so creamy when you put it on, but not creamy like greasy. It's creamy, but yet the most lightweight foundation ever. It feels so lightweight, like you cannot even feel it. It feels like you're blending air on your face. It feels really nice, and then it dries instantly to a powdered finish. So I have worn this some days with a setting powder, and some days I haven't. You don't have to wear a setting powder if you don't want to. The only reason why I really did this week is because it is stinking hot and humid this week, like ridiculously, like 100% humidity, so sticky and hot that I felt like I needed to, but it definitely has a powdery finish and sets really nicely and really fast, so you don't have to actually use a setting powder unless you want to or need to because you're super oily, or like me because of the weather, but definitely in the wintertime I would not need to. So it says a foundation and concealer. One Vanish Foundation's concentrated formula is infused with the double the amount of pigment versus traditional foundations for instant full coverage in one application. So I will say this is extremely high, medium to full coverage, and you'll see in the demo it didn't fully cover up like the little bit of like acne that's healing up right here from a breakout last week, and so I don't think it's like absolutely full coverage, but I think it's like you saw a difference when I applied this face or this side of my face and then this still was undone. Like there's a significant difference. It's beautiful. It's a very medium to full coverage. It looks great. It just looks so flawless on your skin, and it looks so smooth and beautiful. I did show you some close-ups as well. It just looks beautiful on the skin, and like it says, it's really high pigmented, so it actually suggests that you only put 3 little dots or 3 little swipes on each side of your face to achieve that full coverage. You don't need to really cover your face in this foundation. I probably went a tad little bit overboard even in the demo. I definitely could have used less, probably half the amount. Instead of doing like big stripes, you could have just done like one swipe, like half the size that I did in the demo, so you definitely could use less product. But I find that it doesn't build, so if like I went in with 3 stripes and then went in 3 more, it's not going to build just because it's already so high pigment and already so high coverage that it doesn't build super easily. Like you're going to get enough coverage with that one application, which is nice because you do not get a lot of product in here. And then it says the long-wearing waterproof formula provides 12-hour coverage, and the innovative formula adjusts to your body temperature to effortlessly blend into the skin. That's another thing, like it says that it's really cool, is it blends in with your body temperature, so it makes it really easy to blend it. It's not like a cream that's sitting on top that it's like really hard to get into your skin. It kind of just adheres to your skin really beautifully and really easily. So it says encased in a unique triangular bullet for precise application along the contours of your face. So that's the other thing. You could buy these and use them as contour sticks if you wanted to. That's probably the most bang for your buck. It's going to last you longer if you do it like that. But what it's saying is with this triangle shape, which let me go ahead and show you and put the brush down. As much as I love the brush, I need to put it down. So if you can see, it's a triangle shape and you just twist it up and then you just swipe it on your face. And because it's a triangle, if you were using some of the lighter ones as concealer or the darker ones as contour, the shape makes it really easy to draw out the outlines on your face and stuff like that. So that is really cool. It says it can be used to contour and highlight. It features an array of shades and designed specifically to be used with the Vanish foundation brush for the most seamless finish. And like I said, I do agree. I think with the brush or any kind of like kabuki brush like that, it does perform better than a beauty blender, but I mean, you can definitely get away with either one. I just prefer this one. So it says this unique foundation stick is a poured liquid formula designed to adjust to your own body temperature to blend into the skin for the most smooth, most seamless finish. The intense concentration of pigment allows for the fullest coverage while maintaining a weightless feel on the skin. And I do have the Makeup Forever foundation stick. I find that that one I get very greasy throughout the day. A lot more greasy than this one, and that one to me feels heavier and does not blend as well. Now, like I said, it's about double the size that you get for Makeup Forever for around the same price compared to this one, but I do like how this one applies. Like when you first apply it, it looks gorgeous. Now, the downside to it is, like I said, which I forgot to mention, in the demo, one side of my face I am using the Hourglass Mineral Veil primer because that's what it suggests, and then the other side I have no primer on, just so that you can see a difference that it makes. I do think this one will make it last a little bit longer and like maintain that smoothness and the flawlessness, but you can definitely use any kind of primer. It's not like this one exclusively only works with it. That's just what they suggest. I have it in my collection, so I was like, I will use this for the demo today. But definitely, if you're going to use any primer with this foundation, I would definitely use a smoothing primer, because let me get kind of the downsides of this product. I think one, you don't get a lot of product with this foundation for the cost. Two, I do think it can cling to dry spots. I definitely have to be careful and exfoliate my skin before wearing this foundation. If you have a lot of whiteheads, which I tend to have, where it's like that dry extra skin that you just need to exfoliate and get off. If you have whiteheads, if you have acne that's drying up from like treatments you're putting on, it will kind of cling to those spots. Not where it clings and then like creates a dry patch. It just kind of, I can just see where it's sitting a little bit on top of that dryness. But I think it's only noticeable if someone is like from here to here with me, like from me to you, which is how most people are. Like, talking to someone throughout the day, that's about how close you are going to be from me to you. You will not see it. Now, like Bart, who's in my face, I'm talking to him at home, he may see it, or I may see it if I get all the way up close to the mirror, but the average person is not going to see that little imperfection going on. So because of that, I would definitely use some kind of smoothing primer to help with any kind of texture or any dry spots you may have. That will definitely help with it. But it looks so beautiful in the skin when you first apply it because it is so smooth. And I find that it still stays really smooth all day. I do have a little bit of oil coming throughout the day, which is what we will test today, checking in. I don't think it's an excessive amount. And like when I reset it with the powder, or when I kind of just touch up with a blotting pad or something, it goes back to looking flawless like it did in the very beginning. So I do have combo skin. I find that I do get a little bit oily, and we will see that later on, but I don't think it's that bad. I think it's pretty darn manageable, but I think if you have very, very oily skin, you may not like that because you may get really oily with this foundation because it is a cream product no matter what. And I think if you're someone that has really, really dry skin, this is definitely probably not the foundation for you, because even though it is creamy and easy to blend, I found that it kind of clung to some of my dry spots. So I think people with dry skin may have a little bit of trouble. Now, if you have dry skin but you have no texture and you're really smooth, then maybe you'd be fine using like a hydrating primer underneath and you'd be good. But if you're someone that has dry patches or just a lot of texture and dry areas, then I definitely don't think this foundation is going to be for you. But I'm kind of torn with this foundation overall. That's what I have to say. I love the coverage. I think it's beautiful. It makes your skin look flawless. It's so airlight for being a cream product. It feels nice. You don't have to use a ton of product to achieve a really nice full coverage look. I do think it's definitely more full coverage than the Makeup Forever stick. I think there's a lot of good shades in the collection to choose from, a lot of undertones. Definitely would go get color matched, but I don't think you will have a problem. I think it will look really great. And so the only thing I'm upset about is the price. That I feel like if I use this foundation quite a bit, I'm going to be going through it a lot for being a $46 foundation, getting 0.25 ounces. That's kind of sucks. That's what sucks about it. I definitely am going to keep it because I really do like the way it looks on the skin, and even though I have to touch up a little bit, like after 6 to 8 hours, I still think it looks great, but I'm not sure if I would repurchase it just because $46 for 0.25 ounces is a lot of money, but it's a gorgeous foundation, I think. And that is enough talking. You have seen the demo of it being applied and what it looks like. Right now, it's been about like 10 minutes I've had it on. I will go ahead and get to the little party I have to get to and go on with the rest of my day, and then I will come back and check in with you guys and show you what it looks like. Do keep in mind, it is like 98 degrees today and like 100% humidity, so this is going to be a true test of how it deals with like being really, really hot and humid, especially because it says it's waterproof and all that good stuff. So we shall see how it wears. So I will see you guys in a couple hours. Bye! Hey you guys, so we just got back from my in-laws place and my little sister-in-law's 8th grade graduation party. So it is now 4:57 if you guys can see that. So the foundation has been on for like 4 hours and 15 minutes, and this is what it looks like. We've also been in and out, like outside a little bit. Looks like I'm looking outside, it's about to storm, so it's like so humid and everything, and we're in the top floor of our apartment, so our apartment little building, and so the second floor is always so hot, it just never cools off. So it's like 76 degrees in our apartment and it feels warm as it is, but this is what the foundation looks like after 4 hours. I will zoom you guys up close, but at this point I still think everything about this foundation is intact and looks really good. I have worn this all last week to work, and it's not really till like the 8-hour mark that I feel like I even start to get like that shiny to begin with. So I will zoom you guys up close so you can see what it looks like around, you know, my face and my fine lines and things like that, but everything about it right now is perfect. So I'm going to I'm so tired from a wedding we had last night. We just didn't get a lot of sleep, so I'm exhausted, so I think I'm gonna take a nap or at least lay down and just relax for an hour or two before I have to get up and check back in with you guys and do some other stuff to start out my week. So that being said, I'm going to zoom you guys up close and then take a break and come back in a couple hours and show you what it looks like after like 6 hours or so. So let's zoom you guys up close now. Alright, so here's what it looks like up close. I feel like it got a tad, like maybe not absolutely perfect over here, but that's because I was sitting like this a lot of the time at the party, so that may be why. Not necessarily because it just wore off from just having makeup on. So everything else though looks really good. I'm not shiny on my forehead. I'm not shiny around here, which is where I usually typically get shiny. I'm also not that shiny on my chin or anything like that. I actually think everything about this looks really, really pretty. Let me kind of zoom you guys out a little bit there. And then up close, I think everything looks really nice and really pretty. So that is about the 4 hours and 15 minute mark. So I will catch you guys in a little while. Hey you guys, okay, I am back. Sorry if I sound like a little raspy a little bit or my hair is a little cray. I literally just woke up from a nap. I know, what am I, 12 years old? But we were exhausted and we just took a nap for like 2 hours. You know when you wake up you feel like kind of like groggy and like your voice is a little hoarse? That's how I feel right now. And my hair is like a little crazy, but I was trying to like not sleep on my face while I was napping. Then I was like, screw it, it's part of the test. So I ended up sleeping on both sides of my face. So this is what the foundation looks like. It is now, let's see, 8:16 if you guys can see. So it's been on for like 7.5 hours, including a 2-hour nap. And this is what the foundation looks like. You guys, I think this foundation looks so good. It's just now around the 7 to 8 hour mark. I noticed between like today and wearing it all last week that I'm starting to get like ever so slightly shiny and that it builds up ever so slightly around the nose. But other than that, it actually wears really, really well. And like I was saying before, I think you need a smoothing primer or like exfoliating if you have a little bit of texture that it may kind of just be noticeable around that area. And so even that area, like for me, is right around my chin and where this acne is, like still stayed perfectly in place from this morning. And I still think everything about it looks really good. Let me zoom you guys up close right now. Like look how good. And like I said, I took a 2-hour nap and my foundation's still all in place. I was laying like this, I was laying like that. I think it looks really good. If you guys can see, I'm just like ever so slightly shiny, but I'm definitely not an oily mess by any means, so you guys can see. I think it looks so good. Let me turn down the light a little and see if you can see it even better. But like right there, do you see how good this looks? I think it looks so pretty. And now you can definitely see the little bit of shine that I've got going on, but it's definitely nothing, like not a big deal whatsoever. I could just powder after like that 7-8 hour mark and it not be a big deal, but I think it looks so good. And you can't even see, like I was saying, that texture stuff I was talking about. To me, it's only noticeable to me like when I'm like this close to a mirror. Like from me to you, you definitely can't even see what I was talking about. And for me, it's kind of hard to explain. It was only like, I always have whiteheads on my chin, and it was just kind of like you could see the whiteheads a little bit just because it was picking up the foundation around it, and so I could just see them ever so slightly, and like it was accentuating that. Or if I had really dry spots from using acne stuff, it wasn't like covering it amazingly, but I mean, you can't tell. Honestly, you can't tell, so it's more of just a personal thing, but I think this looks so good, you guys. It's so pretty. It's a beautiful foundation. So I think overall, this is just a beautiful, wonderful foundation. I really enjoy how it applies and wears. I really enjoy the brush, even though it is expensive. I definitely think you could use any other kind of flat top or kabuki brush you have in your collection if you're not interested in purchasing this brush. But I definitely would just get something that's small and dense, and this applies so well. Like I said earlier, I think if you're someone that has dry skin, use a hydrating primer. I think you'll be fine. It's more like if you have tons of texture on your face and you have really dry, like flaky skin, or a lot of texture, that maybe you won't like it, just because I feel like it accentuates those areas a tad. If you have super duper oily skin, I can't say how it's going to perform, but I do have combo skin and it really doesn't make me that oily, so maybe people with oily skin can use a mattifying primer underneath and it would be fine. But I think this definitely would be amazing for anyone that has normal skin, combo skin. I think it looks so good on the skin. It's not too matte. It almost gives like a satiny finish. It feels so lightweight and amazing, and a little product goes a long way. Like I showed you in the demo, I probably used like way more product than I normally would on a daily basis like I did this week. I think I got carried away in the demo, but instead of doing like 3 big swipes, you could have done about half of what I did, or like 3 little dots, and you would have been perfectly fine and gotten really nice, good coverage. I mean, it gives you really nice high, medium to full coverage like right off the bat. Like, it's definitely a concealer and foundation in one. It feels amazing. It wears amazing. I'm just so impressed by this. The only downside that may hold me back from buying another one in the future is the actual size and cost of this product. If you guys can see, I've already kind of made a dent in this product, and I believe I got this and started using it on Wednesday because I had gotten a lighter shade, got color IQ'd, and ended up ordering this online, and this one matches me better. And I've already put a kind of decent dent in it in only 5 days. I'm curious to see how long this truly will last me. So that is the downside to it, that you only get 0.25 ounces for such a high cost, but it is so beautiful. I love it. I have really been enjoying it. It's so compact and easy to travel with. Like, you could throw this in your purse, you could touch up. I do think that maybe your best bang for your buck, if you're like, wow, that is really expensive for a foundation for the amount you get, that maybe these would be amazing as concealer and contour sticks for you, because they blend out so well. So as using it as like an under eye concealer would be so full coverage right there. I think that would be so full coverage, and then contouring would be really pretty as well. So I may actually look into that, using it for concealer or for contouring in the future as well, but I definitely would recommend this. I thought it looks wonderful, it applies wonderful, it lasted a really long time like they said. I mean, this definitely was going to continue to last for another probably 3 or 4 hours and still looking really nice. I probably right now, if I had the choice, if I was going to continue to wear this, I'm just at home, I'm going to take all this off and put a mask on, I probably would touch up and powder or blot my forehead just a tiny bit, and right around the nose and right on the chin, and I would be good to go for another 3 or 4 hours, because once you touch it up, it looks completely flawless like the second you had put it on. So overall, I'm really impressed and happy with this. So I hope you guys enjoyed the review, the demo, and getting to see like these check-in videos and see how it wears throughout the day. If you did, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe so you can stay tuned to all my upcoming videos, and I will see you guys very soon.